Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop. And there's been some crazy leaks. So the summer is almost over. I guess we got like a month or two left, but I feel like summer went by really fast because back to school is already going on. I'm getting commercials for back to school stuff, you know what I mean? And I guess, people are going back to school in like 2-3 weeks. But yeah, we've had some crazy leaks, guys. So first of all, we've got the LeBron 23, and this is going to be a special shoe because it's the 23rd shoe, right? So yeah, if you guys remember, the LeBron James logo used to be the L and then the 2 and the 3, which I didn't really like too much. I actually really like the new one. It says L and J, of course, for his initials, but then it also makes a crown because his nickname is the king, whatever. But yeah, also we got a crown, kinda, right? It almost looks like a foam posit, you know what I mean? Like, what material are they using for this shoe, right? But yeah, of course, it's potato quality. So there's that, and also it's a triple black. So we don't really know what the shoe looks like too well because of those reasons. And yeah, that's what they usually do. They wear a triple black shoe. You can't really see all the details too clearly, and you got potato quality. But either way, from what we can see, there is a crazy side piece, right? And again, I'm not 100% sure what type of material they're using. Of course, from like his entire shoe line has been very, very well cushioned, right? It's had the craziest, most well cushioned shoe from Nike. And for the past however many years, it's been the most expensive, or one of the most expensive shoes that Nike has to offer because it is LeBron James' shoe. But then since the LeBron 20, right? Where's my LeBron 20? Where is my 20s? Ah, it's right over here. Of course, since the 20, it was the new generation of shoes so that it can be passed on to the younger generation, which of course is his kid. He switched to a low top design. It still has really nice cushion, but has way less cushion than his other shoes. You guys remember the LeBron 19 and also the 18 with the crazy Air Max bubbles and the crazy zoom units, you know what I mean? It literally felt like you were on a trampoline, but had terrible core feel. But starting from the 20, they actually changed it up a lot. The 20 is an amazing shoe, of course. And then the 21, they did switch it up, right? They did add a kind of like leather material, but it was still relatively lightweight. And performed very, very similarly to the LeBron 20 in that, the cushioning setup is very similar and all that. And of course, with the LeBron 22 also was a solid performance, just the traction wasn't the best on dust for me personally. It picked up a lot of dust. But overall, it still has a really good supportive feel while still having like a responsive, lighter weight feel, lower to the ground feel than his older shoes, right? So in the LeBron 22, I don't know. It seems like they changed it up a lot because it is a low top design, but then they do have that crazy side piece, and hopefully it's just foam. You know what I mean? Hopefully it's not plastic. If it was plastic, it might be a little bit too stiff. Again, I'm still wondering if it's foam posit. I doubt it. If it was like that foam posit material, I would really dislike it because first of all, I really dislike playing in foams. It's just so heavy, so clunky, so stiff, so bulky. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just foam though. It's probably just like a Phylon or something that comes up like crazy, guys. And with this design, it's supposed to mimic the crown design from the LeBron James logo. And as far as the overall material goes, that's like underneath that, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's like a textile. I can't really tell because of the quality of the pictures. But also, it seems like the overall cage does come down into the midsole and might just be like the foam, hopefully, right? If it was cushion, that'd be super nice, but it's probably some type of Phylon. And as far as the cushioning setup goes for the zoom unit, I don't know, what do you guys think? I mean, he's had zoom turbo for the past, 3 shoes? Zoom turbo on the forefoot for the LeBron 20, right? The 21 and the 22, and a large volume zoom unit in the heel. So hopefully they change it up, but I don't know, maybe LeBron just likes that, you know what I mean? But maybe a full-length zoom strobo unit. Yeah, but the only time the LeBrons have ever had full-length zoom, as far as like a zoom unit right underneath your foot, kinda, is the only one that I can think of right now is the LeBron 11 with the drop-in midsole. And he never played in that shoe, you know what I mean? I think it had something to do with the fit. Maybe he didn't like the cushion, I don't know. But rumor has it, with the LeBron 11, the fit wasn't great for him or something like that. And also, he never wore the LeBron 19 either, But either way, it's always been like, you know, like a crazy zoom unit, like platform zoom unit underneath your foot, kind of acting like a, you know, like a trampoline. But honestly, like, I think it looks pretty cool, but I don't really like how there's no swoosh. You know what I mean? They've always, I mean, with the 22, they had a really large oversized swoosh, but with the 20 and 21, they had a regular swoosh on the side, like a double swoosh, you know, on the 20, and then the 21 had like just a regular swoosh. I think this just looks better, but in the 23, it looks like they're just, it doesn't look like there's any type of swoosh on here, which is kind of crazy, you know what I mean? So, yeah, there is the LeBron 23. Also, Donovan Mitchell was at his camp, of course, and he was wearing his brand new signature shoe, the Don Shoe 7, which, by the way, is a very, very nice performer. But yeah, hopefully these aren't just PEs. Hopefully they're actually coming up. But he was actually wearing this, like, you know, tiger stripe colorway, which looks pretty dang cool. And also another kind of like gradient colorway as well, which looks really, really nice too. So yeah, I mean, he's kind of killing it with the colorways, but also the performance is very, very nice, right, for the price, right? Also, we've actually had some more leaks of the Kai 2 speed. So we already went over the Kai 2 speed, you know, like as far as like the upper and stuff like that. The cushioning setup, we're not 100% sure. Probably a full-length N2 foam setup with a lot of caging, actually, looks like. The rubber and also the plastic cages the entire midsole, looks like, actually, on the lateral side, you know, but yeah, we actually didn't see what the outsole looked like, but now we do. We have a fully translucent outsole in this colorway. It's also a very large herringbone traction pattern with kind of like an outline of the outsole almost, and the Kyrie Irving logo, or the Kyrie shield, or the Kai shield in the heel. Hopefully it has nice traction, but it probably will, right? But it looks like a very, very lightweight shoe, which I do like, which, you know, the Kai 1 was a pretty heavy shoe, and then the Kai 1 speed, you know, made it a little bit lighter, but it wasn't like super lightweight for like a speed title, right? But the Kai 2 speed looks like they actually try to shed off a lot of that weight. It looks a lot more low to the ground and a lot like lighter to me, just like by looking at the pictures. So I do like that, right? So I'm very, very excited about this shoe. It should be coming out soon. And also Sabrina, you know, did debut some new colorways. Not a huge fan of this kind of like Hot Wheels like flame colorway. It's like all black. Not a huge fan of that one, but there was another one that looks pretty nice, but I guess like you can do some crazy colorways. Hopefully it is coming out on Nike ID. I mean, we did have that kind of like pink colorway that was supposed to be Nike ID, or I guess Nike by You. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, you know, with the Nike by You, you can customize the flywire and all that. That would be insane. And also, if you can customize the color of the embroidered parts of the upper as well, that would be insane as well. But it looks pretty nice here. You know what I mean? It looks pretty nice. I have yet to see some really dope colors that I love of the Sabrina 3, but this was pretty nice. It is the EYBL Peach Jam colorway. And also, yeah, by the way, Angel Reese has has a signature shoe coming out with Reebok. I mean, actually, it doesn't look bad, but it looks so freaking heavy, guys. It looks so heavy. It looks pretty bulky as well. But yeah, you know, I'm pretty interested to try them out, and we'll see if they are a good performer. And also, Paige did debut the GT Cut 4, which looks terrible. Oh my goodness, what is Nike doing? What is Nike thinking about this, right? We got a very small swoosh in the heel, right? And then, what is this? Oh, maybe, now that I look at it, maybe it's like a whole bunch of swooshes on the side. So I guess that is kind of cool, like now that I see that it's a swoosh design kind of, but it still looks really bad. And also, what is this material? This synthetic material looks so stiff, right? And also, like, the crease marks are going to be crazy in this shoe, right? But I'm also very curious as to what the cushioning setup is going to be, right? Are they using Zoom X? Are they using full-length Zoom Strobel? I don't know. Can't really tell with this kind of like upper design, you know what I mean? Usually I can tell, but this upper design looks kind of crazy, right? So not a huge fan. I guess the gradient, you know, it has like an iridescent glow to it, which does look pretty cool, but design-wise, it looks terrible in my personal opinion. Also, just by the way, there is a Balenciaga basketball shoe coming out. It's $1,550, and it looks terrible. And why is it coming up so much in the forefoot? Hell no, that looks terrible, right? But yeah, and also, we do have a leak of the Harden Volume 10, guys, and it looks the exact same. You know what I mean? From, of course, the Harden Volume 7. Let's get all of these off. Yeah, of course, from the Harden Volume 7, the 8, and the 9. I guess James Harden just really likes the kind of like inner booty material, you know what I mean? Like you have a very nice kind of stretchy inner booty that kind of has like a really nice one-to-one fit, you know? It almost feels like a one booty upper, stretches over your foot, it feels great, and then you have a very supportive, harder shell around that, right? Same thing with the Harden Volume 8, and same thing with the Harden Volume 7, right? So if you look at the Harden Volume 10, it looks pretty much the exact same. We do have that inner booty, and from the 7, 8, and 9, it's literally the same exact material, same feel pretty much as well, and it looks literally the exact same here in the Harden Volume 10. So there's that. But of course the cage design is different. I guess that's what Harden just really likes. Also, this shoe looks super pointy, you know what I mean? Like super pointy from this picture, and also it has an oval design and kind of like circles out on itself. Not a huge fan of how it looks though. This white colorway does look pretty nice though. It does look pretty nice, but it looks like a really stiff and thick plastic material, almost like a foam posit. So we'll have to see on how stiff that material is. And it not only is it on the side, but it also comes all the way here into the forefoot, like on the side as well, and comes a little bit here into the tip of the toe, it looks like. So hopefully it's not too stiff, you know, when I'm trying to walk, hopefully it's not too stiff on top of my foot in the toe box, but we'll have to see on that. As far as the cushioning setup goes, I mean, it's pretty much been the exact same feel, you know what I mean? You have pretty dang good court feel. The overall you know, midsole is very, very caged in all of his shoes, right? Besides, I guess, the Harden Volume 8. But they've all been using, of course, a combination of light strike and boost. And yeah, it's probably going to be the exact same in the Harden Volume 10. But also, I mean, it looks like it's going to be super clunky in the heel because it is so caged. So yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I kind of want something different though, you know, because it's been such a similar feel from the 7, 8, and 9. It would be nice to see something different because usually when they design a shoe, the shoe is very similar for like 2 generations, you know what I mean? Like it's a very, very similar cushioning setup or similar, you know, style of or design for the entire shoe for 2 signature shoes, and they kind of switch it up for the 3rd one, but it's been the same for 3 shoes, and now for the 4th one, it looks like it's gonna be the exact same, but also it looks like it's gonna be a little bit worse because the upper looks so freaking stiff. So yeah, also we have the back, which looks exactly the same as the Harden Volume 7. Look at that, look at the heel part. And also, I guess the 8, you know, the 8 does that as well, and the 9, so I guess they're keeping this heel design, you know what I mean? But look, as far as like the overall like heel part looks, it looks very similar to the 7. We got that James Harden logo on the back as well. And the outsole, right? We do have the kind of like pods, you know what I mean? And it looks like a really freaking thin groove. Oh my goodness. And it looks very similar to the Harden Volume 9. You know what I mean? Not the whole pattern, but like the grooves. You know what I mean? Also, you can see the boost kind of in the forefoot. There is a hole there exposing the boost probably. And also in the heel. And you can see the plate as well. So yeah, there is the Harden Volume 10, and last but not least, we got also a leak of the WOW 12. The WOW 12 is looks really, really nice, and also we've seen this shoe like a couple months ago, but it's actually a better quality picture now. It looks a lot like more minimal and a lot more streamlined to your foot than, of course, the WOW 11. The WOW 11 was a very solid performer, but one thing I didn't like about it is it just feels really kind of like long and bulky to me because of this extra kind of like foam part. But the WOW 12 seems to, you know, kind of like gut the WOW 11, you know, and just make it so much more minimal. And even in the heel area, look at that, it looks so thin as far as the material goes, you know what I mean? For the cushion, I'm very, very curious as to what they're going to be using for the cushion. Hopefully they implement full length super boom with a full-length carbon fiber plate. That would be insane, guys. It looks very low to the ground as well, and pretty caged for the overall midsole though. You know what I mean? We have this red colorway, but it's a little bit easier to see in this white colorway. Also, we do have a very wide base, it looks like. You do have an outrigger there, and the overall material looks to be like a leather, you know what I mean? But like a really thin leather, you know? So I'm very, very curious as to what that shoe's gonna feel like, and also as far as the tech goes, but it looks pretty dang cool. I do like how it looks as far as the design goes. You can see the Wave Wade logo here on the side as well. So yeah, some crazy leaks. I mean, the WOW 12 has, you know, it's it's supposed to come out because the WoW 11 has been out for a while. So tell us what shoe you guys are excited about down in the comment section below. I mean, the LeBrons usually come out during the fall, I believe, so it should be coming out in a couple of months. Same thing with the Harden Volume 10 and stuff like that. So yeah, tell us your thoughts down in the comment section below. But that about wraps it up. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.